Hey guys, what's up? It's Nathan here. And just a fair warning, this video might get a little scattered because I'm discussing something that I've wanted to discuss for quite a while. Just because I feel like I need to. My YouTube following is not as big as I wanted it to be, but you know what? That's completely okay. I still want to do this video. Mr. Nathan and Walcom and Captain Xavier did videos about this, and I think Drac did as well. It's basically why it's basically just why I nerf. Now this video is going to be interesting to see the comments, because most people are very supportive of it. There are people in my life that are not supportive of it, and like many other things in my life. And so I think that I should do this video, and if people unsubscribe, fine, I guess. I mean, I'm not gonna keep anyone around who doesn't want to be here. At this point in my existence, I don't think that that's valuable, because if you're not here, especially on my YouTube channel, because if you don't like the content that I make, that's okay. You don't have to stay. I don't make it for anyone else. I don't make a dime off these videos. I mean, I have a Patreon that's going to be linked in the description, and it's linked in my about page, but I don't. Yeah, and I don't have that ability, because I only have 100 something, 170 something subscribers at this point. But to answer the question why I nerf, there's a few reasons. One, I've always been into Lego, like from my childhood onward. I've always been into Lego, and a Lego, I guess, I mean, I liked the construction portion of it, and I still do Lego. But with Nerf, you're able to do things that you're not able to do with stuff like Lego, in that you can make things and you can build things right to your specifications, and you can do all of that. And I'm 18 years old. I'm 18. I've graduated from high school. I have a girlfriend who's planning on moving here next year, and I don't have as much of a plan beyond that. I want to go to college. I have things I want to go to college for. I want to go to college for history, because history is a passion of mine that I actually haven't shared as much on YouTube. I like history, and I like that kind of subject. And so with Nerf, or with my YouTube channel, I try and keep that more towards my hobbies rather than what I'm going to choose as my career path. And so I like making things. I've always liked building, like with Lego, and so I like building things. And I mean, it's really special when you can take something like this and then buy some random parts and turn this and paint this and make it really cool. This is even only halfway done. Video on this eventually coming. Not gonna promise a date, but there are so many cool things. I mean, I just recently, like, well, relatively, got into serious modding. I mean, serious performance blasters. I mean, this is one of my HVZ blasters, one of my sharpshooter blasters. This is my semi-auto HVZ primary. I mean, it's an interesting hobby because you can make whatever you want, basically. I mean, there are physical limits, but it's fine. And one of the things that I've heard a lot is, why don't you do airsoft? Why don't you do paintball? Because it hurts, and I have a very low pain tolerance. Now, I know what some of you who have seen it on video are gonna say. I have a tattoo. It's right here. It's Elvish. It's my name, and it actually is a tattoo. I can't show it well. There it is. But that was different. That was actually my birthday present. And I understand what that kind of means. Oh, I don't have a pain tolerance, but yeah, somehow I got a tattoo. That's not the point. The point is that I have a low pain tolerance, and I don't want welts. I just don't. That's not what I do. I did lightsaber dueling for a little bit, just as a hobby, with like hobby grade PVC, or with like PVC lightsaber duels, and we whacked each other with them. And so I know that pain is a thing. And so airsoft and paintball stray more into that. And I mean, like I said, I like the captain, I don't think Nerf should hurt. And so when people say that, it kind of defeats the purpose of Nerf. I mean, this is not going to seriously hurt somebody unless you like shoot it at their eye or something. And even then, I know people who've gotten hit in the eye and then less than a week later they're fine. So Nerf, yes, I understand that some people think Nerf is childish, but you can take like I showed you earlier, you can take something like this and turn it in and paint it and modify it, and like this is halfway through the process. Just the primer and the base coat and the cover coat, and then like there's stuff like this. I'm very proud of that, and it makes it so that I can stretch my creative ideas. I mean, I've made custom minifigures and in the past, and so when I got to Nerf, I had a somewhat idea about how to paint details, but I didn't know how to paint something on this large a scale or even this large a scale. And so when I got into Nerf, I learned that, and I'm still learning that. And I do have to thank people like Valour and Captain Xavier and so many other people for their help, because that is a very important part of why I do what I do and how I can do what I do. Because their advice and their like encouragement and just all of that is so helpful. And I do want to just kind of give like a serious thank you to some of those creators. I mean, I'm not the most popular person in the community, not by a long shot. That title belongs to other people. But said other people, a few of them at least, have helped me kind of come out of my shell more. And I've always been super self-aware. So I kind of understand now that I've only been to 2 big events, well, 3 technically, but 3 big events. And I host wars myself with the help of Grim. And it's a fun thing. And that's another thing is I just want to say that Nerf can lead you to a lot of different places, and Nerf can introduce you to a lot of different people that you otherwise would never have met. I mean, when I look back on it, not just what I have never seen the people on YouTube who now I consider to be friends, you know, Drac, Captain Xavier, Walcom, all of those people. But I do have real life friends that I got because I was in the hobby. You know, Grim, Nerfinator, Izakar, Nerfinator, and Grim are 2 perfect examples of that. And there are other people, you know, Gavin, Isaiah, a bunch of other people. You actually haven't seen Isaiah on camera, but you've seen Nerfinator and Grim and Gavin on camera. And I owe that to Nerf. If I had never gotten into the hobby, if I had just stayed with the mentality of, oh, it's just all for children, it's not. I mean, I got into the hobby in 2017. I had just gotten out of middle school. I was just starting high school, really. I just got out of middle school. And I moved somewhere where I wasn't welcome. And I will say that very just simply is I wasn't welcome there. And Nerf was kind of my escape. And in 2009, and I was there for about 2 years. I don't know if it was 2018 or 2017. I got into the hobby in 2017, but in 2019, I was there for 2 years, and in 2019, I went to Jared's Epic Nerf Battle 4, and I met the captain, and I met Drac and Sophie and so many other people. And Sophie's another one who another person who I do consider to actually be a friend of mine. And there are a lot of people who I wouldn't have met if I had never been there. And if you'd have asked me months ago if I would actually have the camaraderie that I do with the people who have probably more subscribers than people I've seen in my life, like Drac or Sophie with her TikTok followers, I'd say you were crazy. But it's insane. And this isn't supposed to be an ego, just like an ego from, or a video for me to stroke my ego. It's insane to me. And the camaraderie around in this community is so insanely awesome. And I will say that I am beyond lucky to be a part of this community in the way that I am. I mean, it's actually awesome. And I mean, I feel like that all culminated when I helped organize the auxiliary tailgate at Jared's Epic Blaster Battle, both of them, and I helped to lead the auxiliary in battle as a temporary corporal. I got that field commission from the captain because there wasn't another corporal there. There was just him, and there was Sergeant Armor, and I was the other person there. I've been in the crew since it or the auxiliary since it started. Or since 2018, something like that. And so I very much enjoyed it. And it was really fun. And it just, that was kind of what it culminated in. entire careers culminated in. Because let's be perfectly honest here, guess who got me into the hobby? It wasn't the captain. It wasn't well, actually, no, Walcom was a big part of it. But it wasn't the captain. It was Drac and Coop. I absolutely respect both of them as creators, and I do consider myself to be friends with Drac. And I've met him a few times, and I plan eventually to go down to his shop in Georgia. So I do very much think that this hobby is just damn cool, and it's not just for kids anymore, because there are blasters that I like, the one I just showed you, or like the Dart Zone Pro now, where it's not like they're just childish toys anymore. They are awesome, and they're just as much a sport as something like airsoft or paintball. And so I think that why I Nerf can basically be traced to it's fun. I can be silly with it. Also, it makes it so that I can have creative freedom to do things like this. And then also, it's just camaraderie. It's a great hobby. If you're looking for something, and like if you're a part of the auxiliary and you're looking for something, I don't think I've ever seen a community that's so willing to help people, whether they are just starting in the hobby or just looking for something else. Like, I've been in the hobby for 2018, since 2017, actually, since 2017. Seriously in the hobby since 2018. And then just yesterday, I just asked a question. Does anyone know? Whatever. And within minutes, there were a few people who were like, okay, here's what you do. And that made me really realize that the community, not just the auxiliary, but just the community, is so welcoming and it's so helpful. Now, there are parts of the community that aren't, but the majority of the community is so welcoming. And maybe I'll do a video covering what I don't like about the hobby and just what I would like to see change. But those situations are so little compared to what I love about the hobby. And honestly, the camaraderie and the teamwork and the just general aura of kindness around the hobby is just, it's something that I've never seen in any other hobby that I've researched. And airsoft and paintball, sometimes they have it, but in my experience, at least, there are a lot of not bad people, but there are a lot of really, like, pig-headed people in those hobbies. And it's not all of them, I won't say that, because Grimm used to do airsoft, or still does, I don't know. And Isaiah did paintball, did whatever, I think. But the general mentality behind those hobbies is that they're competitive, because they're competitive sports. With Nerf, like I said earlier, I can be a little bit sillier. I can paint my blasters purple, and name them after my favorite Joker. It's not that big of a deal. And so I think that in terms of the hobby, and indeed the hobby on YouTube, I just want to thank a lot of the people who got me into the hobby as much as I am. You know, Drac, Captain Xavier, Walcom, Coop. Coop got me into the reviewing side of things, but definitely those guys, Chris Cartaya, a lot of people. My brain's going blank. Jose, Luchasaur 13, he got me in. He got me into the more silly side of the hobby. He and I had been communicating for quite a while, and we've just been talking around about really like ridiculous things. Same goes for me and Drac. I mean, it's such a cool hobby for a lot of different reasons, but the main ones, like I was trying to say earlier before I got sidetracked, it basically just boils down to they're welcoming most of the time. They're welcoming. They're helpful. It's intuitive. You can make whatever you want. Actually battling is fun. I mean, for most people. And it's just a fun community. It's just a generally good community. Now, there are exceptions, but that's been my experience. Now, I will say that there are parts of it that aren't good, but it doesn't really matter. And the point of a hobby is have fun. It's what you enjoy doing. I'm not going to school for engineering. I'm going to school for history and political science. I don't have an interest in that part of that kind. I don't want to go into a career, which is why this is a hobby. And I know there are people in the hobby who did go into engineering. Drac went into I think Drac went into engineering. I think so. Captain Xavier, or Chalo, went into a different kind of engineering, software engineer. He's a software engineer. Coop, criminal justice. So Coop went into criminal justice, and he has a criminal justice degree. I'm going into history, but I do very much want to stay on this path of just making cool things. I keep pulling my Spectrum, but it's one of my favorite blasters, and it's one of my favorite blasters that I've made. And so, not crazy about the detailing, but that's kind of where I'm at. I know this video is like 22 minutes currently, but that's kind of where I'm at. And there are videos that I have planned, kind of more commentary videos, eventually, but there are also reviews and hopefully gameplay footage, now that the pandemic has kind of gone down a little bit. I'm sure that me and Grim will get to organizing more monthly wars, or semi-monthly wars. So there are a lot of different things. And here's the thing. I do not live in places like the Pacific Northwest where like Captain Xavier and Walcom and Out of Darts and Luchasaur and all those people are based. And I don't live in the Southeast, where Drac and Bobo and all those guys are based. I live in the Midwest. I live right between them. I live in Kansas. And so I'm kind of not situated to be a part of either main thing, but I mean, I'm just doing my thing. And that's the thing. Nerf is so fun because it doesn't matter where you are. It's an international community. Hell, the auxiliary is international. And so that's really, really cool. And so it's not like I'm just this is not an ego video. I'm just basically why I Nerf, because it's fun. It's fun, it's enjoyable, it helps me stretch my imagination and my creativity and my engineering skills. And not to toot my own horn, I've made some pretty cool stuff. I mean, my Hera, you haven't seen it, you're not gonna see it right now. But my Hera is probably my favorite paint job I've ever done, and I love it. I'm currently in the middle of one that I think I might like even more. The Spectrum is my second favorite, but that's kind of my situation. I love this community for that reason. It's just welcoming, it's free-flowing creativity, it makes me happy. And that's what a hobby should do, in my opinion. So, with that being said, that's basically the why I Nerf portion of it. And again, I just want to give like a thank you to all of the people who have helped me, who have given me advice, who have sent me things, who have complimented me, who have helped me make a video. I want to thank Drac, Walcom, Captain Xavier. I want to thank Valour. I want to thank Chris Cartaya. I want to thank Out of Darts, Luchathor, Beret, so many other people. And I love that because there are so many different parts of the community that are awesome. And they plus many others, but they are the ones who make this awesome. The creators who they do it because they want to do it. They do it because they love doing it. And that's so awesome. Especially on YouTube, because the algorithm sucks. That's just kind of how it goes. But yeah, I just wanted to do this quite long video to thank them and to also thank you guys, because you guys definitely make this more palatable of a hobby and of a hobby of even just making videos, because it is very fun for me to make videos. I enjoy it. Like I said earlier, I don't make a cent off of it. I have a Patreon if you want to go become a patron. But there's nothing else. I'm just making videos and I enjoy it. That's basically all there is to it. And I think that's the kind of YouTube I want to see come back, as opposed to not like people who just use it as a job, which is fair. I'm not knocking those creators. I'm just saying that the people who enjoy making stuff and making videos is definitely a really cool thing. So with that being said, we're rocking at 28 minutes right now, so I would like to thank you all very much for watching this video. If you've stayed this long watching the video, thank you for sitting through my rambling. But yeah, so let me know what you think in the comments section below. Again, I'm not trying to harp on anybody or any kind of hobby. Nerf's just mine, and it's fun. It's fun and it's enjoyable. It's creative. So yeah, I would like to thank you all very much for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye.